everybody, and welcome back to the Oak Tree Football channel. With the NFL schedule being released yesterday, I decided to start a new series on the channel where I go through every NFL team, talk about them, and give a record prediction for them. Of course, there are still some free agents the teams could sign, but these are my current predictions. The team I'm doing today is the New York Giants. There isn't really a reason I chose the Giants, but for the next videos like this, if anyone in the comment section tells me a team, that will be the team that I do next video. So let's get into it. So the Giants are a pretty historic NFL team. They have 4 Super Bowl wins, but in recent times they have not been the best team. They haven't made the playoffs since 2016. They've had a top 10 pick for the past 3 years. They had 2nd pick in the draft, then they had the 6th pick in the draft, and then 4th pick in the draft this past season. So the past few years for them have not been ideal. The Eli Manning era is officially over as he retired this season, so they really trust Daniel Jones to be their new starting quarterback. They're not the team that they were a few years ago when they made the playoffs. Losing Odell Beckham, they traded him last season, and they need a bit of help at the wide receiver now because of that. So they have some holes on the team. They're not a great team. They definitely have some places to improve. But let's get into it, looking at the draft class for the Giants. And with the 4th pick in the draft, they took Andrew Thomas, the offensive tackle from Georgia. I'm not saying Andrew Thomas is a bad player. I just really think that there were better picks, better players at the same position the Giants could have taken with this pick. I think one example of that would be Jedrick Wills. I think that would have been a great pick by the Giants. And Andrew Thomas is still a good player and will be good for them because they really needed offensive line help. But I really do think that Jedrick Wills maybe would have been better now that they have to go up against Chase Young twice a year. And I think it would have been better with Jedrick Wills or one of the other offensive tackles. But Andrew Thomas is still a good player. Going to the 2nd round pick for the Giants, they took Xavier McKinney, and I absolutely love this pick. Xavier McKinney, I am super, super high on him. I think he's a great player. I think he will be a candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year this season. I think he'll have a great rookie season. I think he'll fit very well with the Giants. That was a great pick by them. Even though it might not have been their biggest need, he should be a starter probably immediately, I would say, and he's just going to fit so well there. That's a great pick. In the 3rd round, they took Matt Peart, another offensive tackle. Peart probably won't start right away, but he is good. He could even come in and replace Nate Soldier, who has not been the most reliable offensive tackle. I think he allowed 12 sacks last season, paid him a lot of money to come over, and then he has not done what they wanted. So just getting Matt Peart, if they really want to put him in instead of Nate Soldier, they could now do that. In the 4th round, they took Darnay Holmes, the cornerback out of UCLA. Once again, I absolutely love this pick. Darnay Holmes, I think, is a very, very good cornerback, and I think we're going to see a lot of playing time from him. He did a lot of good things for UCLA, and maybe not as a rookie, he might not get playing time, but I think he can work his way up on the depth chart and become a top cornerback for the Giants because I really liked how he played in college. He was one of the better nickel cornerbacks, maybe even the best nickel quarterback in the draft. So that's a good pick for the Giants. I really like that pick. In the 5th round, they took Shane Lemieux, the guard from Oregon. He's pretty good. He's not bad. He's not great, but he's not a bad pick. And then for the rest of the draft, the 6th and 7th round, they took 4 linebackers and 1 cornerback. I'm not really going to talk much about those guys because I didn't really see much of them. But from what I know, I've seen a little bit of Cam Brown, and he's actually a pretty decent player out of Penn State. But they really know that linebacker is a need, so they just took 4 in the later rounds. Okay, so now let's take a look at the Giants roster. At the quarterback position, they have Daniel Jones, who they took with the 6th pick in last year's draft. Daniel Jones, as a rookie, he had a pretty good season. The only problem he had was fumbling the ball. He had a lot of fumbles. If he can limit the fumbles, Daniel Jones could be a very good quarterback. And maybe if he could throw less interceptions and stuff. But he threw over 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns last season? I don't know if it was 30 touchdowns or something, but it was over 20 touchdowns. I think he led rookies in touchdown passes last season. He had a very, very good year. And he can build on that. I mean, the thing about Daniel Jones is I could see him having a fantastic season, having a great year and helping the Giants become a really good team again, or I could just see him completely fall off and have a terrible season. I think it'll be one of those. Any of those could happen, or he could just stay the same that he wasn't in his rookie season. But the Giants are probably going to want to step up from him. I mean, especially taking him 6th overall in the draft. They're going to want to see some good stuff from him in the future. So they will want to see a step up, but he should still be the quarterback heading into next season. Unless he does something very, very bad, has a terrible season. He should still be around for a few more years. At the running back position, they have Saquon Barkley, who is one of the best running backs in the NFL. He's only played for 2 seasons, but he's just so talented. And he was a 2nd pick in the draft, so the expectations were high. He has lived up to those expectations. He is so talented. And I mean, he was injured for a bit of last season, but he should get a lot of carries this season. And he can also make receptions out of the backfield, and he should be a huge part of the Giants offense this season and just going forward. The Giants really have to be able to use him because he is, personally, I think he's the best player on the team. So the Giants just need to be able to use him really how they have been, because they've been doing it well. At the wide receiver position, they have Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, and Golden Tate. None of the best receivers. Golden Tate is getting up there in age. Darius Slayton's a bit younger, and he had a good rookie season. Sterling Shepard has been good in the past. I'm just not sure if he's a number 1 receiver. He didn't have the best season last year. And I think it's because, back when Odell Beckham was on the team, Beckham was getting, double covered more. Now Sterling Shepard is that number 1 receiver. And I don't think he's as good at that position as he was at number 2, but it's not the best receivers for the Giants, and that's not going to help Daniel Jones out. At the tight end, the Giants have Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is a very, very good tight end. He's just been injured a bit in his career, but he's fast. He's one of the fastest tight ends in the league. And really, he should be one of Daniel Jones' favorite targets this season if he can stay healthy. Looking at the offensive line, Andrew Thomas, Will Hernandez, Nate Solder, and Kevin Zeitler, 4 of the offensive linemen. Andrew Thomas, of course, the draft pick. I talked about him a bit earlier. Will Hernandez was, I believe, last year in the draft. They took him. Will Hernandez is okay. I think he could develop into something good. Nate Solder has not been great for the Giants. He was very good for the Patriots. It's not been great for the Giants, and they're paying him a lot of money. And then Kevin Zeitler he's been in the league for a few seasons now. He's a good guard. So it's an okay offensive line for the Giants. There should be some improvement. And really, I think Nate Solder really needs to step up if he wants to be able to keep his job on the Giants going forward. Looking on their defense, on the defensive end position, they have Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams. Pretty good defensive end. Leonard Williams is pretty talented, and Dexter Lawrence has potential to be talented. So it could be good there. And then on the defensive tackle, Dalvin Tomlinson is also pretty good. He has potential to be good. It's really just it's a solid defensive line for the Giants. Looking at the linebackers, Blake Martinez, Lorenzo Carter, and Marcus Golden, not the best linebacker core. And you saw in the draft they just won a bunch of linebackers, but they got them all in the later rounds. Maybe they should have gone someone earlier. But I mean, the linebackers could be good. Blake Martinez could be pretty good actually. They got rid of Alec Ogletree this offseason, but I mean the linebackers could be good, but I'm not expecting much from them. At the cornerback position, they have James Bradbury and DeAndre Baker. James Bradbury, a veteran in the NFL, and he's pretty good. He's made some plays, and then DeAndre Baker, also he has made some plays. I mean, he's good. He's okay, I guess. So not the best cornerbacks for the Giants, but not the worst cornerbacks either. And then safeties, I think this is strong point on the team. Jabril Peppers and Xavier McKinney. Jabril Peppers traded from the Browns after being a first-round pick, and he's actually been okay for the Giants. And then Xavier McKinney, I talked about him earlier. I really, really like Xavier McKinney. I think he can have a great season with the Giants. So he's one of the players I'm looking out for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So now let's go ahead and take a look at their schedule. Week 1, they're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football. I believe in the early game, the 7:30 game, or whatever time it is. Steelers could be a tough opponent this season. It is Ben Roethlisberger's return game, so I'm not sure how he'll do in his return, but I think the Steelers' defense is just so good, and that might be a bit too much for the Giants. Looking at the Bears, they're going to Chicago. The Bears are not the best team. They don't really have like a great quarterback, or I mean that's a very winnable game for the Giants. I really do believe that's a winnable game, and if they win that game, they'll start the season off with at least one win. Then week 3 at home again, but the 49ers are their opponent. I can't see them winning that game. The 49ers are just too good. They made the Super Bowl last year, of course, and they're going to be good again this season. I don't know if they're going to make the Super Bowl again this season, but I do think they'll be good again this season. Week 4 against the Rams. The Rams aren't that good anymore since that Super Bowl run. Like, really, the Rams have really shown that a team can fall apart in just a matter of 1 or 2 seasons. So the Rams, they are playing at the Rams Stadium, but still, that could be potentially even maybe a win or at least a close loss for the Giants. Next week, the week after that, they play the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys, that's going to be a tough game because Cowboys roster is very, very good. The draft helped them out a lot. That's going to be a tough opponent playing in Dallas. I don't know about that game for the Giants. Does not look like the most winnable game for them. Next week they play the Redskins. This could be a win. It's really Dwayne Haskins versus Daniel Jones. Did the Giants make the right choice? So far, it looks like they did make the right choice. So that's a very winnable game. I'm not sure. I don't think the Redskins will be the best team this year. Week 7, they go to Philadelphia and play the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. Every year we see the Giants play the Eagles on some form of primetime game. This is it this season. Week 7, Thursday Night Football. As an Eagles fan, I think that we will win that game. But maybe, who knows, maybe the Giants can put up a fight. Next, they play on Monday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers now with Tom Brady. They have one of the better receiving corps in the league with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski. They still have O.J. Howard on the team. The running backs aren't great, the Bucs, but they actually have a really good defense too. I'm not sure if the Buccaneers will be good though, because quarterbacks in their first season with Bruce Arians don't usually do great. But I could see them, the Buccaneers, being a good team this season. So not sure if the Giants will win there. Redskins again. This time it's at the Redskins, but I still think it will be a win for them. Week 10, playing the Eagles once again. Another tough game. I mean, the Eagles are probably going to be a good team. I think it's really going to be between them and the Cowboys for the division this season. Even though the division is wide open, the NFC East, the Giants, if Daniel Jones has a good season, the Giants could even win the division. But the Eagles, I think, are going to be a good team this season. So that's just going to be tough, even though they are playing at home. Week 11, they have a bye week, and then following that, they go into Cincinnati playing Joe Burrow, and then the week after that, they go into Seattle, which is, we know that is tough. And then, so 2 tough games on the road in a row. I mean, the Bengals with Joe Burrow, like just getting Joe Burrow improves their team, honestly. So the Bengals could have a few wins this season, and then the Seahawks have a pretty good roster. Russell Wilson's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and playing in Seattle is tough. So I'm not sure about the Giants' chances in that game, but I don't think they're great. Week 14, they go play the Cardinals. I do think the Cardinals will be very good this season. So again, another tough game, even though they are playing at home. Another tough game. Week 15, they're playing the Cleveland Browns, which might not be the toughest game in the world. That's a winnable game, honestly. But then they go to Baltimore the next week to play the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens were the best team in the regular season last year, and they're going to be good again, I think, unless Lamar Jackson gets injured. And then week 17, they play the Dallas Cowboys again, who I talked about earlier, are a great team. So tough stretch for the Giants towards the end of the season. Seahawks, Cardinals, Ravens, and Cowboys. 4 potential playoff teams in a matter of 5 weeks. But now I will tell you my record prediction for the New York Giants this season. I think it's going to be a loss against the Steelers. I think they'll beat the Bears. I think they'll lose to the 49ers. I think they'll actually beat the Rams. I think they'll lose to the Cowboys. I think they will beat the Redskins. I think they will lose to the Eagles, lose to the Buccaneers, beat the Redskins, lose to the Eagles, lose to the Bengals. I think the Bengals will beat them. Lose to the Seahawks, lose to the Cardinals. I actually think they'll beat the Browns, and then lose to the Ravens and Cowboys to finish out the season. And that means I think they'll have a record of 5-11 this season. So that is my 2020 to 2021 prediction for the New York Giants. If you did enjoy, please leave a like. And if you are new around here, feel free to subscribe. Don't forget to tell me what team you want to see me do this with next. Talk about their roster, their schedule, all that. Give a record prediction. But thank you guys for watching. More content on the way. But anyway, I will see you guys next time.